Hey guys, what's up? It's Josie. Long time no make video. I've been busy with life. IRL got engaged, so I'm going to be married soon. Give me one second. I'll pop a Zin. Speaking of popping Zin, I was able to quit vaping. Granted, the withdrawal was really bad, so I had to start taking these little Zin pouches to kind of kill the craving. And they're not as bad as vaping, but I eventually want to stop these as well. Anyways, that's a side tangent. Today, I'm making a video. Who would have thought? Basically, excuse me, I put this in. We are going to be doing a walkthrough of the Colosseum together. When I mean walkthrough, I don't mean this is a guide or necessarily anything like that. It's just kind of, I guess, a little bit of a teaching video for getting your first quiver. This is important to remember, first quiver, okay? I should probably bank this because we're going to assume that you don't have a quiver. Let me get my, there we go, okay. So, got rid of the quiver. So yeah, we are currently going for the blessed quiver, so I can make the max cape, the max cape, yeah. Which takes 150,000 of these splinters. I have 35k and then 18 extra quivers. So these exchange for 4,000 splinters each. So we need quite a few of these to get to our goal. Anyways, I figured I'd pot a little learning video, kind of. Just some advice and tips, really. I might die making this because my internet has been really bad for the past couple days. Last night, before I went to bed, my fiance left, and then I was going to go to bed, but I was like, I'm going to send one more run. Got to wave 11, internet cut out, like literally cut out for 2 seconds on a Manticore double, and I died. And that was very triggering, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to bed. Went to work today, came home, feeling a bit better. No fiance here tonight. She's back at home with her parents. Obviously, we're Christians, so we're not going to move in with each other until we're married, which is not going to be till April. So anyways, yeah, this is going to be a walkthrough. I just want to, before we go in, I just want to give out some tips and some pointers here. First step is, when I got my first quiver, this might not matter to you, but, well, first of all, before we even talk about this, if you're an Ironman account, or excuse me, if you're a main account and not an Ironman account, camp the Blood Fury. Don't worry about a Rancor or a Torture or anything. Just camp the Blood Fury, okay? Money's not important to you if you're going for a quiver. Just spend the money, learn the content. If you're a dirty Ironman and you are extremely low on Blood Furies, and I only have, I think, 2 shards in the bank left? 3 shards, right here. I had 8 not that long ago. I was saving these up for the next grind. Anyways, I'm going to have to replenish that stack. If you're an Ironman, it's okay to bring a Rancor, Torture, Regular Fury, Switch, but bring the Blood Fury anyways because you're going to want it to conserve brews for sketchy waves or soul. That being said, gear-wise, this is obviously directed towards higher level gear players because I have a scythe and a twisted bow, believe it or not. Yeah, a lot of braids to get that bad boy. So we have a scythe and a twisted bow. So this is directed towards higher level players. If you do not, I've done 5 KCs now without the scythe. I've had the T-bow every single KC, but I've done 5 KCs with my Blade of Salador, which is actually super good on Soul still because he's weak to slash. So it kind of just, it tears through him, but you're going to want some experience with the scythe first if you have it. If you don't have it, obviously learn with the blade, but scythe is just so freaking good there, and the kill is so quick. You don't, it feels like you're not learning all the mechanics at Soul sometimes because you kill it so quick. Okay, so gear, let's talk about this. Thralls. The most 2 important things we're going to have in the spellbook is going to be Thralls and Death Charge. Death Charge is so good. Death Charge is really good because you're SGSing. You have a chance to SGS to full HP at the start of every wave on the Ranger. You always hit your max hit. He has 50 HP. Your Vendor Bow will lower him, but you'll still hit your max hit every single time with the SGS. So it's really good to spam this if you need it. And then if you want to bring a Light Bearer to help with that, you can. I brought a Light Bearer on my first quiver. But now that I've kind of established it pretty well, Berserker Ring, I just noticed it's just so much better. The 2 max hits you get from it is great. If you have an Ultor, obviously bring an Ultor with the 3 max hits on that. Yeah, so that's the SGS and the Death Charge. You might notice, hey, you don't have the runes for this. Well, guess what? I do right here. So before you even start anything, you get a chance to, drop stuff and situate yourself inside there before you start the waves. So you'll just uncharge this. You'll put some charges back in it. We're going to go 6,200. You'll have some blood runes for Death Charge and Thralls. So it works with any staff too. If you use the Trident, then you just drop the Death Runes and bring the Trident with the Death Runes. If you have a shadow, which shadow is actually very good for the melee frame, if you have a shadow, then you just don't bring the soul runes. And just you take them out of your shadow, or your shadow. So that's the rune situation there. Let's see, what other comments that I have here for gear. Oh yeah, if you're taking Manti Mayhem on your first KC, bring a Serp Helm. Don't bring a Face Guard. Unless you're a main and you can bring Sandfuse, that's fine. I don't have very many Sandfuse. I only bring 2 in per run, and I usually don't have to use them, but in case of emergency and you have to use one, bring a Serp. Yeah, so Face Guard, I'm just comfy now, so I've gotten better, and I'm corrected mistakes that I've learned throughout the Colosseum. That guy's a gamer. Yeah, so Dragon Warhammer. The reason why we bring a Dragon Warhammer instead of an Elder Maul or any other spec weapon is because it's one-handed, so you get to bring the Thrall book in with it to not waste any inventory spaces. I won't lie to you, I normally don't bring Thralls. Most of my KCs have been done without Thralls, and I bring either Claws or Voidwaker. I've been actually testing out different specs on the boss. So far, Claws have been the best. They are so good. But for first KC, Warhammer's really good because you get spec at the beginning, put your main weapon on, and just forget about spec. Just worry about focusing on the fight. So that's really helpful. On my first KC, I brought Elder Maul, and I did that, and it was very, very smooth. I died to the boss 3 times before I killed it. So, you know, I'm not some professional gamer out here. I still die a lot as well. I'm only like 15, 16K. I don't know. I don't even want to do the KC. I think I'm 20 KC, 19 KC, something like that. So I'm not super good at the content. Anyways, gear. Drop the Armadale Chain Spear. For my first KC, I mean, if you have Missouri, it might be worth bringing both because those are a lot of max hits. My first KC, I went like this. I did not bring the Chain Spear. You're really only using range or shadow. If you're using range or shadow, you're only really using it for emergency bad south spawn. So like, I'll explain that when I'm in there. Actually, let's just go in. I need to show you a couple things in here. Anyways, before we start, just because this is a little bit of a learning video, I want to, you see all these tiles I've marked. Some of them you don't need. I don't know why these are marked here. Yeah, we just have the G5 tile. This one right here, I'm going to put G5. Oops, not G%, G5. This is I'm going to call it the No Monkey tile for short. If you guys know No Monkey, shout out to him. He's actually one of my favorite streamers and video makers. He has this G5 tile. That's because this pillar, once you're, if he ever sees this, he's never going to see it. He's too popular. He would hate me for saying this. But for your first KC, I don't recommend using this pillar. This is going to set up some advanced stacks, some weird luring with the minions, the reinforcements, that is kind of advanced. If you go here and you have one spawn here and a stack here, then the reinforcements are free, essentially. You just get this guy to come closer by coming over here and clicking here, and he lures, but you have to destack and make sure you're flicking against whatever's here. When this thing pulls up here, you go back here, and you kill it. As the reinforcements spawn, they go down here to where the stack is, and then they just crawl down to here, and then you can deal with them here. So it's good for that. It's actually also good for destacking things, because, like I said, you can just lure around the pillar really easy. However, it's really advanced. I won't lie. You get some wonky spawns, and if you're not super confident with prayer flicking or even solving the wave really quick in your head, like a few seconds, this is not going to be the place to start at. This is definitely a place that I would tell you to learn if you're doing melee only like we are today. Definitely learn this. This is a very, very good, and it makes your time. If you're going for speed runs, really, this is not speed runs. If you're going for good times, this is the place you want to be. Anyways. This is what the tile we're going to be using for the learning. Okay, so let me explain these. We have the B tile and the A tile. Normally I don't have these labeled, but I did it just for this because I knew we were going to be doing this. A tile, B tile. Let me explain how these work. First, let's talk about the starting tile. So you're going to start from the pillar here, and you're going to walk 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles out. This is your start tile, okay? You want to start every wave here. The reason why is because the spawn that could potentially spawn here or here is within 10 tiles of you and is therefore forced out into the rest of the arena. So essentially, the only spawns you can get is A and B. And these can both spawn at the same time. So you can hypothetically get a bad wave where you have a Manticore and then another mob here. And it's a little bit of flicking, a little bit confusing, but it's also easy to solve. Don't panic, okay? You also have other pillars. This pillar here is really good for auto-solving waves. And what I mean by that is, like, let's say we start the wave, okay, we wait our 5 seconds, we go over here, or 5 game ticks, go over here, and we have one mob here, and then all the rest are over here. They're all going to crawl up to this pillar and get stacked, either some here and some here. and you're just going to have to deal with this one mob. And by going here, typically you can pull that mob close enough to shoot it with a 10-tile range weapon or a shadow. Typically you want to deal with this before the reinforcements get here, but you don't have to. You can always kill the reinforcements while you're praying against whatever's here. Even with Myopia 3, which is the invocation that takes your target range, or your shooting range down all the way to 4 tiles, you can still usually hit it. And you'll see on the run, hopefully we get some Myopia invocations on this run so I can kind of demonstrate that. But yeah, how these tiles work, excuse me, is if you have a Manticore on A and a regular mob on B, you want to go to A right here. Because you want the Manticore to see you before the other monster or after the other monster sees you. If they see you at the same time, they're going to be on the same tick and you won't be able to flick against them. If that doesn't make sense, the Manticore uses 3 attack styles. So let's say it's a Mage Manticore. It'll be Mage, Range, Melee. Let's say you get a Mage, Range, Melee Manticore here and a Ranger here. If you get a Ranger on B, you run to B and stop. The Manticore will see you, and then the Ranger will see you. So you're praying range against the Ranger. Manticore charge it up, Mage, Range, Melee. The Ranger shoots you, you go Mage, Range, Melee, Range. So you're praying against both the mobs, but not getting hit by either of them. So that's how that works. I'm not going to lie, for the first couple KCs, I cheesed it. If there was a bad spawn here, I often ran over here to try to fix it, or I ran down here to try to fix it, or even destacked him over here. This is the tiles I have marked over here because I'm going to explain this in a little bit during the run. We're definitely going to have to use that. Basically, I don't like flicking multiple monsters at once, not because I can't do it. I can do it very, very well, actually. Especially after all the deaths I've had here, I can do it very well. But my internet is so bad that if I'm flicking 2 or 3 monsters and it gives me one little bit of late, like it'll do this thing where it cuts out for 2 or 3 game ticks. If it does that, I'm dead. There's nothing I can do. I've died to it so many times. So in order to prevent that, this video is for you, because we're gonna use other pillars to run to safety. Sometimes they require minor flicking. Let's say you have a Ranger here. Let's just mark tile. Ranger here, Manticore here, and a Major here. You want to fight these one by one because, like me, you don't want the internet to go out and kill you. So you're going to start on this tile this tile right here. The Major's going to see you first. You're going to pray Mage, run here, and then run here, and pray Range. And you're going to watch it, Mage, Range, just like that. Hopefully I can demonstrate this during the run as well. The reason for this is because if you go here, the monsters two will stack here, 1 will come around the pillar, you can fight that one, and you can kill them one at a time. I highly recommend doing that, because it just makes it easier, especially if you're nervous or less confident in your prayer flicking skills. I will say the Quiver is mechanically harder than the Inferno. Bias maybe because I've done the Inferno a lot. Very good at the content, have a lot of kill count there. Have all the Grandmaster tasks done at the Inferno, minus the Jad skip on Zuck. I have not done that yet, but I've done all the other ones. I still think this is mechanically harder than the Inferno. It's less time, which is nice, so if you die, you just go right back in, pay your 500k, go right back in, all's good in the world. But it is definitely harder. Getting to Soul is a lot faster and easier than Zuck. It's just harder mechanically. That's all I'm going to say. The boss fight itself, we'll talk more about if and when we get to wave 11. So let me gear up and I'll show you guys this demonstration. There's one more thing I need to talk about. 2 more things. Oh my gosh, I'm so stupid. Okay, so invocations. There's some invocations that are absolutely do not take, and there's some invocations that are absolutely take. On wave 1, right when you start, like this wave right here, if I click on this guy, you're going to get 3 invocations here. These are all what I would consider free. However, 1 is clearly better than the other 2. Frailty 1 is a really good one to take if you're like halfway through. Because if you take it on wave 1, you're likely going to be offered it again. And you don't want to get offered it again that early. Because although Frailty 2 is not bad either, you don't want to get offered Frailty 3 on the boss. Like, that's just, you don't want that. You don't want to be 60 HP max on the boss. You want to be at least 80. This one, your maximum HP is reduced 10. So if you're 9 HP, your HP will be 90. I know it should be 89, I guess, but anyways, 10% I guess would be 90. So you get reduced HP to 90. That's not bad. That's doable. If you start every wave close to 90, you'll be chilling. Relentless. This one is an interesting one because the Relentless one I consider to be pretty free. Your enemies ignore 33% of your defense and hit an extra 1 damage. This is fairly good. You're still going to be pretty tanky, especially with Bandos or Torva or whatever you got. You're still going to be fairly tanky. They only gain one max hit, and quite frankly, Relentless 1, 2, and 3 are not, if you're playing properly, are not going to be that much of a noticeable invocation. It's only noticeable if you're tanking a lot of hits. Like if you're really like tanking a lot, you will notice. You will not take anything. I remember like early on, before like sub 5kc, I had to take Relentless 3 at wave 9, and I ran out and had to tank a range hit, and it hit me twice, both for 49s. Like it was just like 49, 49. Like you'll notice it then. But Relentless 1 is fairly good. The best invocation, in my opinion, the whole thing is Blasphemy. Prayer is drained by 20% of damage received off prayer. Every time you receive Blasphemy, you're going to want to take it unless you get Myopia. So if you have Blasphemy and then you get offered Blasphemy 2 and these two, you take Blasphemy again. And then you take Blasphemy again. Blasphemy all the way up to 3 is great. 20%, 40%, 60% of prayer drain versus damage you take respectively. You're going to have plenty of restore. We're not taking too much food. You're going to have plenty of restore to get through, and even if you need to milk SGS a little bit, that's fine, especially with Death Charge, and if you bring a Light Bearer, you're not going to really be struggling too much on food. Blood Fury, SGS, all that stuff is going to help you maintain your health so you don't have to eat food before the boss. You might have to on sketchy ways, like I said, but most likely you probably won't have to. Yeah, there's other invocations. We'll see if I get any, and I'll kind of explain as I go. I'll take it each wave invocation kind of slow. Last thing I need to talk about, how you start. So wave 1 doesn't matter, okay? You can start anywhere in the arena, start wave 1. It's just the Fremenix and a Major. So you just pray Mage, kill the Fremenix, kill the Major. Pretty simple. The rest of the waves thereon, you want to start here, and you want to get this plugin. I put it back on right here. It's called, oh gosh, tick timer maybe? Aha, Visual Metronome plugin. And you can set it to any time between 1 and a bajillion. Some people I notice set it to 5, and they click differently than I do. I set it to 6 personally, so I have a little bit of time to react. But what you're going to do, I'll demonstrate it here real quick on wave 1. Hopefully I don't die, because I get the splinters out of it. Anyways, you're going to click on Blasphemy here. You're going to click continue right when it says 1. And then when it says 6, you run to that pillar I was talking about. I'll show you what I mean. Boom. Start on 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, go. Boom. And basically, a lot of times, this will solve the waves for you, so you don't gotta do nothing. Okay. Just hurt me then. My dragon arrows! No! Oh, this is what I mean by the max hit. Watch this. Every single time, whop. Max hit. Forgive me, guys. I just had to show that. And at the end of the wave, when you know it's getting close to being over, you're on the last mob, situate yourself back toward the starting tile. I got a melee, so I'm going to pray melee. Situate yourself back towards the starting tile, because if you are like right here and the wave's over and you don't get back here in time, your character will like stop here and it won't let you move until you pick an invocation and continue. So oftentimes you have to be here and then be like, okay, continue on 1 and then run here and then wait till 6 and go, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna just kill this mob and then we'll get started here. Sorry for the long introduction. I just wanted to give some, before we started, tips going. Please don't offer me splinters so I can just leave and start a new run here. Don't offer me splinters. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Thank goodness. Okay. 1 second. My fiance texted me. We gotta take a break. Okay. Let's tame our splinters and let's get this on the road. If you guys want me to, actually, I might just record a straight run through of this and then switch to the blade and do another straight run through. We'll see. Zeus, now is not the time. I'm recording a video. So yeah, we're gonna put the Warhammer back on. We are going to get our Armor Doll back out because I like to use. I'm pretty cozy. I can use Armor Doll. Yeah. So this is gonna be our setup that we bring in. I personally go with 2 divines and 1 reg super combat. You can do any one you want of these. You can do 3 divines, 3 regulars. You just want to stay potted as much as possible for combat because, like I said, this is going to be a primarily melee quiver. Like, we're going to be meleeing everything we possibly can, only using the T-bow switch for sketchy situations and bad south spawns. So then we're going to bring 1 divine range. I like to bring divines because I pre-pot a divine. Oh gosh, I need divines. Hold on. Wait, maybe I can. No, it's okay. Frig. Well, while I'm talking, I'll just do this. So basically, I like to pre-pot a Divine, Super Combat, and Range Pot. And by doing this, you stay potted till about wave 3. And then by wave 4, your pot goes away. Between wave 4 and 7, I don't drink another range pot. Because with Rigor and Dragon Arrows, your Venator Bow will always one-hit the mage, as long as the arrow bounces. So if you have the mage in range left, which is usually the ones I have left, the arrow will hit mage for 30, bounce to ranger, hit mage for 20, and kill it. Guaranteed with Rigor, even without a range pot. But I bring the range pot because post wave 7, you get those sketchy spawns I talked about sometimes. And you want to kill that south person really quick with your T-bow, and range pot helps a ton with that, especially if you have a ranger, because the T-bow can rip through the ranger, but it can also noodle a lot. So you want to have that DPS there just in case. I'm going to quickly run to Narda and decant these into those potions. I need some monies. Forgive me, guys. I should have been more prepared for this, but you're getting the raw recording content here. My volume is kind of loud. Let me see how that is. That's better. This is the wrong place. Hopefully, when I watch this back, hopefully the volume isn't like destroying people's ears. I apologize if it is. I'm a sound player myself. I like to play with sound. I was doing those too. That's fine. I like to play with sound, so bear with me. I know a lot of people don't play with sound. I do. I always have. Sometimes it helps with lagging and stuff to know what to spray. Taking a sip of my Monsty there. Okay, let's get geared up here and do a run through. Like I said, I'm going to try to go a little bit slow in the sense of like explaining invocations each wave and stuff. But other than that, we're not going to go too slow. So we're going to bring 2 Sanfews. This is an emergency if the Manticore venoms us. If you take Manti Mayhem 2, not 1, 1 is just an extra orb. Manti Mayhem 2 is 3 orbs per attack, so it can hit like 300 damage, like at crazy high. But it also has a chance to venom you. So Sanfews act as a prayer potion and an anti-poison, so 2 sips of this cures venom. So you want to remember that. I bring 2. You rarely have to use them. I sometimes use them on soul because it's all I have left for prayer. Anyways, we're going to bring 4 brews. Let me explain the Rancor real quick. I use Rancor as much as I possibly can. Blood Fury when I need to heal, so I don't touch my brews until Soul. On the Soul fight itself, I usually just can't Blood Fury. I'll spec with the Rancor and maybe use it for a few hits, but as soon as it starts getting into it, I like to put the Blood Fury on just to kind of chill out a little bit and not worry about my HP. Also because I only bring 4 brews. My first KC, I brought 7 brews and hardly any of these switches. So if you need to bank some switches to, like, realistically, you can Camp Barrow's Gloves and bank this and have 2 extra spots for whatever and just do a 4-way range like this. Or even if you're a rich main, you can bring the freaking assembler, just freaking lose dragon arrows. You know what I mean? Like, you can kind of just cater it to what feels good to you once you get a little hang of it. I recommend using good gear, going in there and learning it a little bit, and then once you kind of see where you're pushing to and dying at, adjust accordingly. So yeah, after that, we're going to take out our pre-pots. We're going to hit an Angler, Divine Super Combat, Divine Ranging, and a Saturated Heart, and then the other Angler. And then we're going to take out Restores. So that means we're going to have a total of 8 Restores, okay? That should be plenty of Restore. Typically, I'll use about 6 or 7 of them. Sometimes even, yes, usually 6 on all the waves. Sometimes I'll use more than that, but very, very rarely. So let's just get this going. We're going to pot up here. There we go. I'm going to take out some Restores here. We got 6 Restores, 2 Sanfews. Perfecto. My quick pairs are Protect from Magic and Rigor because I kill the mage with a T-bow, and so I like to be able to flick that. Everything else I can't overhead and then flick Piety. So we're going to go over here before the wave starts. Excuse me, before we start the wave. I don't want to scare you. We're going to drop a couple pots. Let me go here again, actually, and drop a brew instead of that. Perfect. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to empty our Sanguine Esty staff, and we are going to put charges back into it, just like so. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Now we are going to put this on and get rid of our Thrall book. Put this right here. Why not? Now we're ready to start. I like to start each wave with my range gear Venator bow right here and my SGS here, so I can do a perfect switch here. So like I said, wave 1 doesn't really matter. We're going to protect from magic for the major. We're going to choose Blasphemy. Doesn't matter about the tick counter when you start. We're going to kill the melee friend with 2 Sang hits. Make sure you keep moving because they can't hit you while you're moving. Put the Venator on, and you're going to kill the mage. Instant 1 hit off the bounce. Put your SGS on, smack the ranger. And then you're going to put your T-bow on, or shadow, whichever one you're using. And we're going to take care of this major. And like I said, when you're on the last mob or close to the end of the wave, situate yourself towards that starting tile. You have about, I'm going to guesstimate about 4 seconds to get to this tile, 3-4 seconds. So I know it's dead. I'm going to run to this starting tile, turn off my prayer, and get myself situated again for the next wave. So Venator here, Scythe here, SGS here. Let's see what our invocations are. So Myopia, we're going to choose that one here. We're going to pray range. We're going to go Myopia, and then when it says 1, we're going to start. 6, we're going to run on the pillar. Watch this. I hit start on 6, we're going to run on 5. 5, go. Boom, good spawn. We're going to run behind the pillar here. Both those mobs are going to line up. And we can just safely deal with the frenemies without any other mobs on us. Shoot the major here for an instant 1 hit. And we're going to get our prayer points back up. And boom, 93 prayer. This is our first off tick already. So we're going to put our range gear on because we're going to kill the mage first. We are going to pray mage and go here and attack the major, and then pray range when he animates. Major animates, pray range. Major animates, pray range. Major animates, pray range. Major animates, get ready to dodge the javelin. Boom, here comes the javelin. Perfect. Every 5 attacks, this javelin warrior, Colossus, excuse me, will throw a javelin up in the air, and you have to move from it. So we're on 4 attacks, I think, right now. He's going to throw it up in the air. Oh, no, that was 4. Okay, so watch here. Step back. He throws it up. Go back forward. It falls right here. Boom. He does it every 5 attacks. You have to remember that for when you're flicking him and another mob, you have to move every 5 hits. Kill the reinforcement, which is the Jaguar Warrior only at this point. Go back to our starting tile here and take care of the Jaguar Warrior. I don't recommend flicking too much on your first run. Just bring enough prayer to not have to flick too much because everything in here can hit so freaking hard. This guy can hit a 147 if you get hit all off prayer. Situate ourselves again here. So we're going to put our range gear back on. Our Venator bow and our thing here. We're going to move the SGS here in case we need a spec. We are going to hit a death charge. Oh, I should recommend this. If you're using a Berserker ring, spam death charge. Just do it because you never know when you'll need spec. So just try to keep your spec up at all times and keep death charge up at all times. So here we're going to use our first thrall. We're going to pray range. And we're going to choose let's actually choose Blasphemy again. 6, 1. Wait till it says 6. Run behind the pillar. Perfect spawn. We're just going to have to deal with 1 javelin. So this guy is south, so he's the only one that can see us. So just pray against him. You will take damage every wave dealing with the frenemies. They hit so stupidly hard. I'm going to use this guy right here. Boom. Get everything back up. Dodge the javelin. Perfect. And now we're just going to chip him down from right here. Reinforcement spawn at 40 seconds every wave. So while we're killing this guy, the reinforcement will spawn. It's just 1 melee, so we don't have to worry about any prayer flicking anything. I hit off prayer there. A 0. Humble. The reinforcement will come and get lured right here. Don't gotta move. But make sure don't move here if you dodge a javelin. Move back and forth right here. If you go out, this guy will come around and hit you, and you will die. Trust me. With your later waves and your reinforcement is a Minotaur, you can step out 2 tiles safely. By that I mean here. Like either one of these is fine. But during the melee and major waves, you're not going to be able to do that. Are Divines already out? Oh, it's because I'm taking my time. That's why. So yeah, I'm not going to pot just yet. Oh, where'd my side go? Right here. So, let's deal with the reinforcement. Death charge. Thrall. We have another off tick here. A lot of times the Colosseum can be solved without off ticking by just running to different pillars. But this is an easy one, and this guy doesn't max too high. I think he maxed at 32. So it's fairly safe to off tick these, even if you make a mistake, it's alright. We're going to start in the middle of the pillar. Make sure you're in the middle of the pillar. Not on the user side. Middle of the pillar only. We're going to pray mage against the back mob. When he animates, pray range. Animates, pray mage. Pray range, excuse me. Animates, pray range. Get ready to dodge that javelin here soon. Next, it's going to be the javelin. We're going to dodge that. Go back to Prey Mage when he animates switch. Gosh, this Major does not want to die. I mean, I guess I'm not potted, but that's going to hurt. Dodge. Major animate, switch prayer. Major animate, switch prayer. Major animate, switch prayer. Major animates. I should have switched prayer there. I could have got hit there. Anyways. And anytime you take damage, you can always run behind the pillar for safety and SGS a mob or Blood Fury back up if you need to. Dodge the Javelin. For these waves, I just camp the overhead and just flick Piety for the most part. Sometimes I wouldn't flick Piety if I'm just saving prayer, but yeah. You can get quite a few prayer points back from whatever you lose at the start of each wave with the Ranger Feminic. There's a lag. There we go. The internet already started cutting out. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I clicked on my gear and it didn't even register, and then boom, it all put on. So that's what it looks like with my net lags. It's very bad. Anyways, this one's going to be the first Manticore. Yay. So over here I have them set up to where they don't say Manticore, it says Lion, but that's a Manticore. The Manticore is the guy that charges up 3 times with 3 different styles. I will show you when the wave starts. Oh, this is terrible invocations here, but we're going to go ahead and take Doom. Doom 1's not bad if you know what you're doing, but I wouldn't recommend taking any of these. This should be a reset for a 1kc quiver. 6 and run. We got a Manticore over here. So you're going to kill the Feminics, but you're going to keep a close eye on this Manticore. Okay, he's range first. We're going to go range, mage, melee, range. Watch Manticore. Boom, boom, boom. Put your T-bow on. Watch the Manticore. Range, mage, melee. Again, watch the Manticore. Range, mage, melee. It's all 1 tick apart. He takes 5 ticks to charge and 5 ticks to attack. But then you just switch in 1 tick from apart from each other. So here we go. Let's do it again. Ready? And range, mage, melee. The major minion is going to get stuck, so we're fine. We're fine. Post wave 4, you get a major and a Jaguar warrior, and sometimes the major will come up here. Let me kill this before I keep blabbering on and get myself killed. The major will come up here, and you'll have to flick against it. Usually, in my experience, it'll be off-ticked from the Manticore. So you'll pray mage, the shaman hits you, and then you pray against the Manticore and go back to mage, so the shaman doesn't hit you again. Because everything in the Colosseum except for the boss is 5 tick, it really helps timing on things. You kind of just get the hang of it. It's very similar to like Verzik if you're a Tauber. Verzik is 5 tick. A lot of the cycles that you do are 5 tick. You kind of just learn how to 5 tick tank and everything. So there's that. Okay, so this is a great time to use the Venator bow. We're gonna hit 3 mobs here, I think, with it. We're gonna go ahead and click our quick pairs. Run out here. Hit the shaman here. It should hit all 3 of these guys. Yep. So again, we're flicking Mage and Rigor. I'm unpotted right now, so the hits won't be that great. But typically, if your Venator can hit 1 person and bounce off 1 more, it's better DPS than a Scythe, or about the same as the Scythe. So, doing this is better than T-bowing the Majors and meleeing the meleeer there. We're just Venatoring them down. When this first guy's dead, the other Major will pull up and we'll hit him. He's going to pull up and we're going to hit him. Perfect. Let's go back to our starting tile. We already have ourselves situated here as far as gear goes. Doom 1, let me explain how Doom works. If you take 15 stacks of damage in 1 wave, you're dead automatically. Even if your HP is 99, you're dead. Doom is not really one I recommend for 1kc, but after you have a kill under your belt and you feel more comfy, Doom 1 becomes a pretty free invocation. Don't panic too much. Even if your boss is super sloppy, I think the worst boss I've ever had with Doom 1, I got to 9 stacks. And that was, I thought, the worst boss ever. I was like, oh, surely Doom's going to get me. But then when I killed it, I looked down, I was like, oh, I'm only at 9 stacks of Doom. So it's pretty free for Doom 1 if you have a little bit of experience under your belt. But I wouldn't take it for a first quiver, honestly. That last wave, when I saw B's Totemic Doom, I would have reset, honestly. Just take your loot, reset, try again. It's not a big deal. You're going to get runs where you have bad invocations, and you don't want to push yourself to the point where you're like frustrated and can't do anything about it. Like, just reset. It's a quick, the Colosseum's very quick. Just take your loot and go. So yeah, that's what I would do there. Anyways, back to the actual run here. I haven't been potted for a while. I've just been blabbering. So here we're going to take Blasphemy. These two are, I hate, okay, let me actually vent for a second. Everyone loves Solar Flare. Every guide I've seen on YouTube, they're like, oh, Solar Flare is so free. If you're meleeing primarily and you want to kind of not panic all the time and worry about things and you want to focus on what you're doing, don't take Solar Flare. I hate this. This is like my second least favorite invocation. Like, it's so bad. Anyways, Blasphemy 3 is what we're going to go with here. Blasphemy 3. Wait till the timer says 1. Boom. And then we're going to run on 6. 5, 6, and go. And we got 1 ranger. So we're going to pray range. We're going to kill the fremies. Nothing new here. Same thing we've been doing. I want to get some prayer back here. Boom. Not that much prayer back. Okay. I forgot SGS doesn't give you a whole lot of prayer. It's very good for HP, but not for prayer. I usually am very focused about spamming thralls and like praying and stuff, but since I'm talking so much, it's kind of nice not using them. Reminds me of my first 5 KCs where I didn't bring them. Oh, there's the internet lagging again. Oh, took a massive hit off internet lag. Nice. Okay, so the Major's going to get trapped. We don't got to worry about him. We just focus on this guy. I'm not going to lie. I'm not even going to Thrall anymore. If you guys see the inventory spaces and how Thralls work, I'll just wait till the boss to use them. Unless I remember later on. This first run, I wanted to be a good bit of talking, so I can just walk through situations that I'm doing and how my brain is processing different spawns and different things I'm doing. If you have nothing else to worry about when you're killing the south spawn, feel free to just flick your prayers to save prayer, because you have all the time in the world to kill it. Nothing else is going to happen. Reinforcements are already spawned, and we're gonna have a Manticore over here. He can't see us on this side, but he can see us over here. If we go here, you'll notice that their tiles are on the edge. See how that guy's on the edge there? If I walked here to attack these, this guy walks up. This side, he doesn't. He's behind that pillar way over there by 2 tiles. So I can walk here, and he will still stay over there and be out of sight. We're gonna put on the Venator bow and take care of all these mobs, and then we'll worry about the Manticore. Okay, you'll notice our health is not at full, so I'm actually going to SGS spec this guy 1 time. Make sure we death charge to get our spec back from whatever we use. Boom. That gives us a good amount of HP. We're going to put our Blood Fury on, and we're going to lower this Manticore over here. Don't run to him because we want to stay by our start tile. He's the last monster. Go here and go here, and he doesn't charge up. He comes over here. Drink a prayer pot. We're going to click him. You're safe to attack him for a little bit and then wait for him to charge. So it's a range, so we're going to go range, mage, melee. Range, mage, melee. All 1 tick apart. Range, mage, melee. 1 tick apart. And I'm not going to lie, on my first few deaths, or my first few run-throughs, before I even got my first quiver, I would say these prayers out loud just so I didn't get confused, especially when there's multiple mobs on you. So we're going to go range, mage, melee. Boom. I would just say that out loud to myself every single time. And then you start taking Manti Mayhem 3 and you're like, everything I learned is out the window. Because for Manti Mayhem 3, he switches his orb profiles. He can do melee at any time in the sequence. So get situated. Wave 6 is one of the harder waves. You have a Manticore, 2 Rangers, and a Mage. So this is your first decent chance of getting a double spawn down here, and a good chance to deal with it because the mobs aren't as damaging as later on. We're going to start prey range because there's obviously going to be 2 Rangers, so that's going to be the most deadly thing. We're going to take Myopia 2 here, and we're going to start on 1. Perfect, and then we wait till 6 and go here. We got a perfect spawn. Everything is already solved. All we have to do is kill these guys and wait for some reinforcements. Perfect. And we have something back there. What is that? That's a Colossus. So The Manticore, this is actually a good time to show how this thing works. This guy only has a range of 10 tiles, so we can go down here, protect range, go right here, go back up, protect mage, and he drags to us. Boom. That way we can take care of it while we're waiting on reinforcements. All the other mobs in the Colosseum would have seen us there. But because his max range is 10 tiles, he can't see us. We have myopia too. Let me explain something real quick. If you're on this tile and you wear your Venator bow and want to hit this guy, and you have myopia 2 or 3, if you click him, you will drag next to him and you will die. Let me explain. If I click on him, boom. If you have myopia 2 and not 3, you can attack him safely from 2 tiles away. The reason why is because if you're here, it obviously drags you to here with your run on. If it's off, it doesn't do that. But if your run is on, it will drag you to him and kill you. So be aware. Be hyper aware. Just be very careful with your clicks and movements. Zeus, stop. I'm doing a video. After I kill this guy, I gotta put Zeus up. He's causing problems. That is my dog, if you don't know. Put on our T-bow. Or Shadow, if you went the mage route. I don't have a Shadow, because I'm unlucky. Shadow's actually very good here, from what I hear. I've never used it, but I'm sure it's good. Okay, get our melee gear on here. And let me put my dog up real quick. 1 second, guys. Let me mute my mic and put him up right quick. My apologies. I am back. You might hear him barking. I put him in my kennel, which is my bathroom. It's a very large space for him to be in there and secluded away from us, but also have space to walk around. Anyways, you might hear him barking. So, where was I? Okay, so this is an interesting stack. We have a mage manticore, meaning he starts with mage, and a ranger, a javelin colossus. There is a way to solve this without running to a different pillar. We are going to run to a different pillar because that's just what you should do on your first KC if you don't want to do an advanced flick. But the way you solve this is the mage is gonna hit you first, but then the ranger and his range will hit you the same tick if you start in the middle. So what I mean by that is if I run here and go here, that range hit us on the same tick. Nice lag. So we're gonna go mage. Range is gonna hit us on the same tick. Dodge the javelin. So yeah, that's how you solve that. I took a hit there, a little bit of a derby lag. But basically, what we can also do is we're gonna go here and we're gonna run here and we're gonna go mage, range, melee, range, and we're gonna run to this pillar. That ranger over here had a chance to hit on us, but it hit at 0, thankfully. That ranger was solved by the way we left the pillar there. He was not going to hit us. We protected range against the manticore and that guy at the same time. Hug this side of the pillar so he drags up to the front and we can melee him safely. We're low here, so we're going to go ahead and Blood Fury. Actually, we are going to SGS because I want some prayer back too. Make sure you're death charging whenever you spec. Thank you, Windows, for that loud notification. Okay. And then you can just deal with these mobs one by one. We're actually going to kill the manticore first. If you kill this guy first and you need to run back close to that start tile pillar, you're going to have to flick against this guy while you're running. That's not recommended. So let's kill him first. We're going to start mage and we're going to go range melee. Just like so. Mage, range, melee. Mage, range, melee. And once you get the hang of the manticores, like after dying a few times and getting back to these waves, you're gonna have this guy down, and you know it's not gonna be too big of a scare for you, I'll say. Perfect. Now we're gonna pray range, and we're gonna go ahead and drag this guy back to our starting tile over here, or starting pillar really, because the starting tile he'll still be able to hit you, but back over here. I'm not gonna hit a potion here because I've already used quite a few. We're already on wave 6. Anyways, next wave is going to be the first time we see a Shockwave Colossus, which is the major. He has a very hard max hit, and he's very accurate, but he's super squishy. He's so squishy. He's very easy to kill. He has 125 HP like the other majors, and let me tell you, anything you use against him, T-bow, scythe, even when I use my blade runs, everything just rips through him. He's very squishy. I think if I do another run on video with a blade here and not the scythe to show that you can do it with just a blade and not need a scythe, I will probably just do that one with just volume and not commentate it. But you guys can obviously still see it raw with the game sounds. Because I'm just cool like that, you know? Like, I just, you know, I want to be helpful, but also I don't like talking for a long time to myself. It feels kind of weird. It's different on stream, but I can't stream with my bad internet anymore. So it's like I'm just talking to myself in my room, and it's kind of awkward. Anyways, okay, so Shocker is the major. We get a Lion and a Ranger. So we have one of each of the higher mobs. And then the reinforcement changes. It's no longer the melee and the mage. It is a Minotaur. The Minotaur has a special attack. If he is within chest line of sight, meaning his middle tile is in line of sight of another mob's chest tile, like the middle tile of them, he will heal them if you damage them. Past a threshold of, I think, 20%. If you damage them more than 20%, he'll heal them. So that way, if you're gonna kill an NPC, okay, let me just explain this first. If the Minotaur spawns here and drags over to here, this spot right here, his starting tile will be right here. Any mobs that are here that you're dealing with the T-bow will not be healed. His line of sight doesn't go through this pillar. So anything that spawns over here, A or B, is going to be able to be killed even while he's up. Just keep that in mind. So if he's here, you have a Manticore here, and you're like, I don't want to flick a Manticore while I kill this guy, just kill a Manticore. It's okay, he won't heal it. It's not within chest tile of him. Otherwise, you're going to want to, a lot of times I'll wait for him to come over here because I have a good lineup and I have a solve. But if I move, it'll change the solve because of the Minotaur. So you can just hug here until he spawns and then deal with him and then deal with the wave. Anyways, let's get this out of the way. We're going to pray range. Our invocations are really bad. Holy cow, really bad. We're going to take Doom 2, I think. So we're going to start on 1. Boom. And we're going to run on 6. 5, 6. Boom. Javelin over here, so we're already praying range. Deal with the Fremies. Step here to drag the Ranger within T-bow range here. Sweet. We're going to kill this guy here for some HP and prayer. Perfect. Watch out for his Javelin. Dodge. And then kill him. Just end him. Send him to the abyss. If this was a higher wave and you had something coming, I would range pot here to kill this guy faster. But like I said, since the Minotaur can't heal him, we're just going to take our time and kill him. And again, the Minotaur, you can safely stand on either one of these tiles, even when he's pulled up here. He has a very big body, so you'll see what I mean. I'm going to stand here. He's going to pull up one tile, and you can safely stand here, and he can't go over. With the Meleeer and the Major, you couldn't do that. They both cross over because they're obviously less tiles than he is. So like I said, go ahead and kill this Javelin Colossus. That's going to... Oh, he did the special. I got blessed. So with Myopia 3, you can hit this guy here, but you can't hit him from here, so you'll drag out. So make sure you're careful about where you're standing with Myopia 3. We only have Myopia 2 right now. That's why I was able to hit him from the middle. But just be careful. Be mindful of that. Let's put our Scythe on, and let's kill this Minotaur. We're going to go ahead and dump a spec to get some prayer back here. Oh, nice. 50 unpotted spec. You'd love to see it. Things you love to see, that. Now, Doom 2 is not... I mean, I'm showing this just for a walkthrough, but if you're... Again, if you're a first quiver getter, this is a reset at Doom 1, but at Doom 2, it's especially a reset. If I was a first quiver getter there, I would choose Dynamic Duo, which gives you a guaranteed double Shockwave Colossus every single wave he spawns. However, he's only in wave 7. There's one wave 7, one wave 8, and one wave 11. So you only have to deal with it 3 times, but those 3 times could be all it takes to get a bad spawn and die. So I usually advise against Dynamic Duo. I would actually put it as one of the lower, worst invocations that you could take. Give me 1 second, guys. The dog is barking again. And of course, as soon as I get back, there's an Amber Alert going on my phone. I apologize if you guys could hear that in the video, because I did not mute my mic when I let Zeus out of my room. Alright, let me clear this real quick. Sorry about that, guys. I'm getting distracted. You know how it is being a busy person. Anyways, so again, this is an interesting stack here because this Manticore could change everything. If this is a Mage Manticore, meaning he starts with Mage's first attack, this is the freest stack ever. If he starts with range, this stack becomes a little bit more complicated. Excuse me. But there's a couple ways we can deal with it. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to do the cheese method, okay? So we're going to put our T-bow on. A shadow if you have it, instead of a T-bow. We're going to run here, praying Mage and Rigor, and get a few shots in the sky while we find out what this guy is. So let's go ahead and do that. This guy's going to charge up, and let's see what his first thing is. If it's Mage... Oh, it is. Okay, so it's Mage. So this is the freest thing ever. Let me show you what to do. Because it's first, they're both going to see you. On this side, here, they won't see you at the same time. This guy will be one tick faster than him. Lag, okay. This guy will be one tick faster than him, meaning that you'll pray against his magic, but this guy will hit you. Because, excuse me, this guy will hit you. Wait, does it work on both sides? Am I retarded? Just forget what I said. Just start on this side. I think you can do it on... Actually, I'm going to test it. I think you can do it on this side too. They see you in the same tick, right? Okay, they do. Okay, cool. So you're going to go Mage. And you're just going to watch the Manticore. Don't even look at the Colossus. Because you're going to be attacking at the same time as him. As long as you go back to Mage. So you watch this. Ready? Mage, range, melee, Mage. Just make sure you get that Mage prayer back up at the end, so that on that last tick he doesn't hit you. Perfect. He's going to shoot. And they're both going to shoot the Mage at the same time. Boom, boom, boom. It's pretty... I like how they made the Manticores like this. It definitely adds some variance to the waves. Okay, we're going to lure this guy a little bit closer to our starting tile here. Perfect. Let's see. Wave 8 is very tough, so we're going to go ahead and pot. Both range and melee potions. SGS some of our HP and prayer back. I'm lagging so bad because it's recording. I'm so sorry. We're going to do all the cool stuff. We're going to see how squishy this guy is. As we hit a 3 spec. Nice. Boom. But yeah, these mages are so squishy with the scythe. It feels so funny, like hitting them. Like it feels almost like cheating. Okay, this is a hard wave. This is 2 rangers, a lion, and a shocker. We're going to pray range and rigor. We're going to choose relentless, one of the free ones at the beginning, but we're taking it later now. Start on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, go. Free spawn. So we're starting with a lion, or a manticore, if you will. So we're going to hit the berserker. We're going to hit this guy, and we're going to focus on the manticore. So he's a range one, so we're going to go range, mage, melee, range. Spec the Fremi. Range, mage, melee. We're going to run to this tile here, because we have myopia. Range, mage, melee. Get the rest of our range gear on here. Range, mage, melee. And usually you can camp rigor here, but because there's no rush, because the Minotaur will get trapped here and not see him, we can just relax and take our time killing him. Just make sure that you don't forget not to step out too far. That will get you killed. If you step one tile this way, you'll take a lot of damage. You get the Minotaur unlured. This guy heals. The Minotaur gives him melee distance of you. It just becomes very, very rough. Death charge whenever we can. Perfect. And he's dead. One shot off on the Minotaur. Put our Blood Fury on. Let's get some heals going. I want to save my spec for the startup wave now. So whenever I get low HP on these later waves, I just Blood Fury back up to full. We have Doom 2. So we have to watch out for our stacks too. If these get to 10 now, instead of 15, if they get to 10, you die. So you have to be very careful with Doom. If I get Doom 3, I will not take it. That's 5 stacks, and I've never taken that before. So we're just healing our HP back up. Perfect. 9 HP on the last swing. You'd love to see that. Let's go grab our Super Restore. We still have a brew there. Don't forget that that's over there before the boss. Because if you are on wave 11, kill the last mob, and you're not near it, you'll lose it. You won't be able to get to it. Okay. So we're going to kill the stack here. The Javelin is back here, but then we have a double stack here. Double stacks are the easiest. Just make sure you start in the middle and pray against the back mob first. So, mage range. Make sure especially that you're not missing that mage flick, because the ranger you're more likely to tank with bandos on. Oh, I missed a flick there. Let's see what he hits. A 0. Blessed. Oh, I thought he was dead. Whoopsies. That ranger hit me. Monka. Okay. We're going to go ahead and SGS our stuff back on the squishy guy. Perfect. Let's Blood Fairy back up. Blood Fairy on the squishiest monsters is very smart to do. Okay, so for the next 2 waves, they're pretty easy depending on spawns. You have less likely chance of getting bad spawns, but you still can get them, so, you know, be aware. Put our Rancor back on because we're a filthy Iron Man and Blood Furies are precious to us. I went over there to unlure this guy to get him closer to our starting tile here. Pray range and just deal with him. Situate yourself for the wave. Make sure that your stuff's where you need it and where you want it. We're going to pray range. This is a 2 lion, 1 ranger. So 2 lions can be intimidating, but if they see you at the same time, they automatically off tick. So if they're both range, it'll be range, mage, melee. 5 ticks later, range, mage, melee. Like just like that over and over and over. They are off tick to each other. They do attack very, very fast, but they are off tick to each other, okay? Just remember that. So we're going to pray range, and we are going to choose, oh gosh, we're going to choose Manti Mayhem. 1, and then run on 6. Boom. So double lion, but this one's going to get trapped, so we're good. That lion will see us, but we're going to kill this guy first. He's a range 1, so we're going to go range, mage, melee. Range, mage, melee, back to range. Focus on the Manticore. Range, mage, melee, back to range. Range, mage, melee. I missed a flick there. No big deal. Range, mage, melee. Next wave we get a Minotaur and a mage, so this little south spawn is no longer a kill it when you can if that mage is first. I'll tell you what I mean if I get one. I'm dead. I'm still alive. I keep flicking early. What the heck is up with me? My Sacks of Doom are at 7. Don't worry about your HP, just focus on the flicks here. You're completely safe where you're at if you just get all these flicks right. I'm used to listening to the sound louder. I have it really quiet for the video, and I'm talking, which is distracting me. Not to make excuses, but also to make excuses, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, we're gonna SGS once, I think. I like to have spec at the start of waves, but you know what? We're really low. So let's SGS, let's drink a super combat, let's Blood Fury our health back, because we have a simple stack here. So we're actually gonna run, we're gonna pillar run destack these, because I know that this Manticore is, wait, was that Manticore range? It was, okay, we're free, never mind. So I'll show you what I mean here. This, if the first Manticore was ranged, then this one you know is gonna be ranged. The only time that can change is if you have Manti Mayhem 3 on. If you have Manti Mayhem 3, the Manticore's melee orbs are anywhere in the sequence, so they can be different to each other. But if you only have Manticore, or sorry, Manti Mayhem 1 or 2, the sequence will always be the same as the other Manticore. So I know preemptively, because I killed this one, that this one's going to be a ranger. So we're going to pray range. So we're going to go here. We still have to dodge the the ranger here. We're Blood Fury and our HP back too. So next Manticore flick, we're going to dodge the ranger, dodge 1 tile. I know this looks advanced, but once you've done it a while, you'll be like, okay, that's so free. What was I thinking? Okay, last mob. Let's finish him off. Hopefully we get some Blood Fury heals. I don't quite have an SGS for next wave. We could spoon a spawn, maybe. Don't want to touch a brew already. Come on, Blood Fury. Big heal. Big heal. And big heal. Nope, that was literally a 1 heal. Dang, that was bad. Bad Blood Fury. Okay. Situate yourself for the next wave. I have a spec, which is very, very good. That can come in very, very handy. Drink a restore here. This is wave 10. This is double ranger, double lion. This is a scary wave because it's very spawn dependent and I have Doom 2 on. So if you get a double spawn here, you're going to have to run. You're going to have to run pillars if you think you'll panic. Because you can no longer run here. This is not safe because there will be 2 other mobs that will see you. So just try to stay calm and kill the frenemies if you can. But if you get a double spawn, think fast and move to one of these pillars. Whichever one, the manticores will be off tick. So you'll just be tanking rangers. You will not be tanking manticores if you're focused. Anyways, let's start the wave. We're going to start with this and this. We're going to look at our invocations. We're going to take Myopia 3. Start on 1, 4, 5, 6, go. And the spawn is free. We literally have everything behind the pillar. We can safely deal with our Fremenix here. Oh, nice little lag there. Let's go ahead and get our prayer and HP back. Basically max there. We have a nice fat stack here. This is actually a really, really good spawn here because everything's lined up here just perfectly, now I'm going to wait for the reinforcements because like I said, wave 10 and 11, you have a mage and a minotaur. So we're going to actually sit here and wait for them to spawn. Put Prey Mage on when it's close to that 40-second mark, you know, just rough estimate here. Go here so the Major hits you. So the Minotaur gets, oh, he's trapped, never mind. Bring him down. Ideally, you want to trap him so that this guy is not stuck behind the Minotaur, because now we have to do this the slow way. I don't know if my scythe hits him if I'm here. Does it? It does, never mind. Okay, that should be quicker than using the old Venator bow. Step back, pray melee. He didn't heal him there because it was not his center tile. You notice the mage was here, his center tile is here. So if the mage was here, it would heal him to full every time that I hit him. But because he wasn't, it didn't. Put my Rancor back on. I'm talking in public now, okay. My blood fear is getting scary low. Okay, so this is what we're going to do here. We're going to pray range, and we're going to use this pillar for our D stack. So when we go here, everything's going to get stuck, but one thing's going to see you at the end of when they're walking. So right now when you're running over, nothing's going to hit you because these rangers you're praying against and the manticores have to charge. So if we go over here, you'll see that the rangers will hit you, the manticores won't because they're charging. And they're range manticores, which is actually very beneficial for this wave. We're going to step here, and as soon as the other monsters come up, we're going to click on this ranger and we're going to go here. Perfect. And now we can deal with this guy relatively safely, but just remember, after he's dead, this manticore is going to see us over here. So we have to be able to react to the manticore over here. Let me respond to my fiance real quick before we get to the intense wave. Okay, she's just talking about my outfit for the wedding. Okay, so when you kill it, make sure you remember you're going to want to go range, mage, melee for the manticore. I have Manti Mayhem on, so it's very dangerous. You want to make sure you get these flicks right. Be ready. As soon as he animates, range, mage, melee, go back. You can safely kill him now. Range, mage, melee. Range, mage, melee. Just like so. And actually after the next attack, we are going to pod up and Blood Fury our health back. Flick a Piety flick in there. Look at that heal. Holy. Cool. Okay, we're almost full HP too. This one you don't have to destack anything because they're going to see you at the same time and they're both starting with range. So that's very, very kind and thoughtful of them. Yeah, we're pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and Rancor up and get in here. Just make sure again that when you're flicking these, you're aware that the ranger can still do his air javelin every 5 attacks. There it is. So we're going to dodge one tile. And just make sure you're keeping up with the pace here of the flicks. And go back to range bearer every time. Okay, now that it's just one mob, we're going to lure him over to our start tile. And you notice I put my Blood Fury on here just to try to eke out to full HP before the next wave. I haven't taken Frailty yet because I haven't seen it, so my max HP is still 99, and I can still boost to 115 with the Brew, which is very nice if we actually can manage to get that for Soul for the first quiver. If you can get to Soul on your first quiver, getting these invocations, well, mine is Doom, obviously, but if you can get to Soul on your first quiver, taking Myopia, Blasphemy, and anything but Frailty, it's actually really helpful because you don't have to worry about your HP being under 99 or whatever if you make a mistake. Yeah, so we're going to get situated for the next wave. Wave 11 is difficult, but not unbearable. It's 1 Ranger, 1 Major, 2 Lion, so there's a good chance that it'll spawn here again. But so far, the spawns have been free. Let's see if we have to deal with anything. We're going to start range instead of Mage because we have 2 seconds to react before anything shoots us. They spawn, and then there's a 3-tick delay before they attack. So we're going to take Relentless 2 here, which is a very bad invo. Relentless 1's free, Relentless 2 is less free. 66% of damage gets ignored, or sorry, excuse me, 66% of your defense gets ignored, and enemies gain 3 max hits, which is very dangerous for a lot of monsters, but we are on wave 11, and this would be a free invocation to get on Soul. Like if we get Relentless 3, 100% of damage is, or yeah, 100% of defense is gone. It doesn't really matter as much on Soul, because if you take damage there anyways, it's going to hurt, and you're supposed to be avoiding all damage there. Anyways, we're going to take this. Relentless 2 here. So we're gonna take Relentless 2, start on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, boom. And we got a good spawn. So the Major's not gonna be able to see us. It's just gonna be this Lion that sees us here. So make sure you're watching the Lion. It's a Ranger. So we're gonna go range, Mage, melee, back to range, range, Mage, melee, back to range, and we can still see him here with Myopia 3 with a T-bow. If you have a weapon like a T-bow or Shadow, it's really helpful for situations like this because of the range of it. You can still see, even with Myopia 3, I can still see this guy here. If you were using a Bofa works too, but if you were using a crossbow or something, you would not be able to see this guy here. Minotaur is going to lure up, doesn't matter. Can't heal this guy because of the line of sight to the pillar. Perfect. Get 1 hit off on the Minotaur. Get our melee gear back on. Get rid of this Minotaur here. So we actually had one bad thing happen there, is that when the Minotaur spawned, he blocked the Mage from coming over here. So the Mage is back here. So that's another problem for us, but it's not a huge one. This is all the stacks we have to deal with for this wave. And if this is a Mage Manticore, whew, this wave is free, free, free. Alright, before we forget about it, let's grab our extra brew down here because this is the last wave before Soul. Let's just set it here, I guess. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. Okay. This is the last wave before Soul. So, you know, if you are down to 1 or 2 mobs left and you know it's going to be, you know, a free run to Soul, you want to make sure that your inventory is set up for Soul. And make sure that you have all the food and potions that you brought in your inventory, obviously, because you don't want to start the boss and leave one on the ground. So, yeah. Let's see. If this is, like I said, if this is a Mage Manticore, this is free. But either way, it should be pretty free because we are actually going to do the cheese method here. We're just going to T-bow this guy. Let's see what the Manticore is. He's ranged. So it's not as free as we'd like, but that's quite alright. So we're going to pray against the Manticore and we're going to tank the Major for a hit. So what we're going to do is we're going to pray against the Manticore. Trigger Restore here. There we go. Then pray Mage. Run back. And we're going to do the same thing, but with an SGS and a Blood Fury. Pot here. Pray against the Manticore and hit this guy. Should be dead here. Not quite. Okay. So, this is where it gets a little bit... Oh gosh, don't run there. I almost just ruined the whole run there. Okay, so this is where it gets a little bit confusing and tricky. Obviously, the Major can hit way higher than 27. And the Manticore we're going to be flicking against. So, you have 2 options here. You can either brew up, which is a smart thing to do for your first KC. I don't bring a lot of brew. So, we're just going to do the old Ticket, I think. Actually, no, we have Doom on. Let's just play it safe. He can hit a 59, but we're gonna bank on him not hitting a 59. That's what we're gonna do, okay? Okay. That should be good. Just in case I did tick eat there. Anyways, now everything's going to destack, the mages are going to come down, and this wave just became free. Because they're both praying the same thing here. Unfortunate we had to use a brew there, but it is what it is sometimes. Make sure we have full spec here for the boss. I'm not going to use SGS anymore, so just to make sure I have full spec for the boss. So yeah, now we're going to Blood Fury our HP back, or at least try to as best we can. We're going to adjust our inventory for soul here. Actually, I'll wait till the Manticore, or till the Ranger's dead, I guess, because, yeah, that's fine. Okay. Again, watch the Javelin for his range attack up in the air. It's going to be next hit. You have a few seconds to dodge it, so don't panic too much when he throws it up. Don't stop flicking the Manticore. You'd rather tank like a 30 or 40 from his attack than tank an entire Manticore hit. Should be dead next hit. Perfect. Watch the Manticore. Didn't attack us. Nice. Okay. So this is a little bit tricky here. Sticky Stitch, because I might have to brew for the boss. Anyways, yeah, we're going to want to organize our inventory. So what I like to do is move my range stuff to the bottom, because we're not going to need that for the final boss. The only time you ever really need your range stuff is if you have if you have to choose Quartet on the last wave, then you'll get a Fremnic Warbander, and there's a 30% chance that it'll need range to kill. But anyways, I digress. Put your Sang, your range gear all down at the bottom. I'm going to put my Rancor down there too, because like I said, for the boss, I'm not going to use it, especially with Doom. Got to make sure I'm focusing here. Okay, so put our melee gear up here, our Warhammer and our SGS, in case we need it. With Doom, unlikely we'll need it. We'll probably die to Doom before we would die to anything else. Let's situate our potions here, put our brew here. Just all together, just make sure that the inventory is organized somewhat. Range potion out of the way, restore up here. There we go. Okay, that looks good. We're going to drink that in a second here. So let's super combat, and let's kill this Manticore and hope we get some heals. Oh, let me explain the boss before I kill this. Oh my gosh, what am I thinking? Okay, so I'm actually going to SGS this guy. For the boss, he has 4 main attacks and 3 special attacks, and 1 between phase special attack. So let's say this pillar is the boss. If he does Spear 1, we're going to go step back, attack the boss. If he does Spear 2, we're going to go step back, attack the boss. He does Shield 1, you go 1 back, attack the boss. He does Shield 2, go 2 back, and attack the boss. Here's the catch. If he does Spear 1 and goes back, and then does Shield, it's going to be Shield 1. Then it resets the cycle. So you're back to Spear 1. He does Shield 1, back to Spear 1. If he does Spear 1 and then Shield, it's still Shield 1. And then if he does Shield again, it's Shield 2, if that makes sense. So it resets every other attack. If he does 2 shields in a row, it'll be Shield 1, Shield 2. If he does a Shield Spear, it'll be Shield 1, Spear 1, if that makes sense. The special attacks, grappling attacks, 2 grapple attacks. 1 will grapple a piece of your armor, and you'll have to protect against it. You have, I think, 5 ticks or 4 ticks to protect against it. So have a hotkey bind on your keyboard connected to this tab, whatever tab this is, your Worn Equipments. So let's say he says, I'm going to twist your feet off. You'll click on his and click on your boots, and they won't unequip. It'll say grapple or protect, and it'll protect them. And if you do it perfectly on tick, which you won't for the first couple tries, if you do it perfectly on tick, your next hit will be a max hit, which is very nice. Anyways, I'll just let you watch. I'm not going to commentate the boss too much, because like I said, I'm not a veteran over here. Okay, so we're going to put our hammer on for the boss. Make sure we're facing north here. Okay, so I'm not going to commentate too much on the boss, but I will say my attacks out loud as much as I can possibly remember. We're going to brew here. Heck it, let's just brew to full. We got a Blood Fury. Super combat. We only have 1 Warhammer spec, which is quite alright. We're going to check our invocations here. Oh, Frailty. Frailty is the free one here. I shouldn't have brewed up. That's going to put me down 90 HP, but that's okay. Okay, let's start Soul. Spam click so he doesn't get any walks on you, and you can start the fight right away. We hit. Spear 1, 1 back. Shield one, one back. Spear one. He's gonna phase here. Make him walk back with you. Spear one, I think. Oh, that was spear two. So we're back to one, back to one. Shield one. Shield two, two back. Go back in the middle for the one attack. One back. I don't like the spot. Two back. Oh gosh. No, no, no. Sorry I'm not talking, guys. I just need to focus. Okay, that was a little bit close. Only had 5 stacks to do, which is nice, but I kind of had to focus there quite a bit. So yeah, there is the KC done. There's our nice stack of splinters and our 4K splinters we'll get from the quiver. Let's go ahead and gear up for